Close your eyes and step back to March 29, 1973. New York City. Gleason's Arena. The air is thick with cigarette smoke and hatred. Outside, police cars line the streets, not to protect the fighters, but to arrest them. Inside, 500 angry faces stare at the ring where two women will break the law simply by stepping into it. This isn't just a boxing match. This is a revolution wrapped in leather gloves and desperation. The announcer's voice cracks over the static-filled speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to witness is illegal in 48 states. These women could face jail time for what they're about to do. The crowd erupts in boos. Someone throws a beer can that shatters against the ring ropes. But through the tunnel, walking alone under the flickering fluorescent lights, comes a woman who doesn't flinch. Her name is Jackie Tonawanda. Her real name is Jackie Sims, but tonight she fights under a name that means strength and spirit in the language of her ancestors. She's 26 years old. She weighs 139 pounds. And she carries the hopes of every woman who was ever told she was too weak, too emotional, too fragile for the ring. Her opponent, Kathy Davis, waits in the opposite corner. Both women know this fight could end their careers or land them in prison. But Jackie has spent 10 years training in secret, punching bags in abandoned warehouses, wrapping her hands with stolen gauze, running through Harlem streets at 5 a.m. while the world slept. She's been called a freak, a disgrace, a man in a woman's body. But tonight, under these illegal lights, she's about to prove something the world refuses to believe, that a woman's heart can beat just as fiercely as a man's. This is not the story of a boxing match. This is the story of the night a woman stared down an entire nation's prejudice and refused to blink. To understand Jackie Tonawanda, you must first understand Harlem in the 1950s, a neighborhood pulsing with life, music, and struggle. Jackie was born Jackie Sims on August 15, 1947, to a single mother named Clara who worked 3 jobs just to keep food on the table. Her father? A ghost. A rumor. A man who vanished before Jackie could form his face in her memory. Clara Sims believed in 2 things: God and education. She worked as a maid in Manhattan penthouses by day and studied for her GED by night. Jackie learned early that survival wasn't about hoping for better, it was about fighting for it. By age 8, she was taking the subway alone to the public library, devouring books about warriors and queens. Joan of Arc, Boudica, Harriet Tubman. These women lived in her imagination when real life offered little hope. But Harlem had its own lessons. At 10 years old, Jackie watched from her apartment window as police beat a black teenager for loitering. At 12, she saw her best friend's brother killed in a street fight over territory. At 14, she learned what it meant to be a black girl in America when a store owner accused her of stealing a lipstick she couldn't afford. That night, Jackie made a promise to herself in the bathroom mirror: "No one will ever make me feel small again." Her salvation came in the most unlikely place, a crumbling community center on 125th Street. Inside, an old man named Mr. Henderson ran a boxing program for neighborhood boys. Jackie would stand outside the chain-link fence every afternoon, watching the boys spar, their movements fluid and powerful. One rainy Tuesday, when most boys stayed home, Mr. Henderson caught her watching. "You want to learn how to fight, little bird?" he asked, using the nickname he'd give her that day. Jackie nodded, too scared to speak. "Women don't belong in boxing," he said, but his eyes held kindness. "But women belong everywhere they choose to be. Come back tomorrow. 6 a.m. Don't tell anyone." For 3 years, Jackie trained in secret before school. Mr. Henderson taught her not just to throw punches, but to move, like water, like wind, like the jazz musicians who played down the street. "Boxing isn't about hitting," he'd say, wiping sweat from her brow. "It's about thinking 3 moves ahead while your heart is pounding in your ears. It's about dignity when the world tries to take it from you." But secrets don't stay hidden forever. When Jackie was 17, a neighbor saw her leaving the gym and told her mother. Clara was furious, not because Jackie was boxing, but because she'd risked her future. "You think those rich white men will ever let you fight professionally?" she shouted. They'll destroy you before they let a black girl step into a ring. Jackie's response would shape her entire life. Then I'll make them let me. The years between 1963 and 1973 were Jackie's wilderness years. While Muhammad Ali became a global icon and the civil rights movement transformed America, Jackie fought battles no cameras recorded. She worked days as a seamstress in a garment factory, her fingers nimble with needle and thread, her mind dreaming of rope and canvas. Nights belonged to the gym, different gyms, different cities, always moving, always hiding. In 1965, she traveled to Chicago for an underground women's fight night. 20 women showed up in a warehouse, fighting for $25 and a hot meal. Jackie won all 3 of her bouts that night, but the promoter never paid her. "Come back when you're a man," he laughed. She spent the bus ride home counting her pennies to afford a single slice of pizza. In 1967, she tried to enter the New York Golden Gloves tournament. The application form had no box for female. When she wrote woman in the gender field, officials laughed. "This isn't a beauty pageant," one told her. Jackie spent 6 months studying law at the public library, learning about gender discrimination statutes that didn't exist. She wrote letters to senators, to boxing commissions, to newspapers. Most went unanswered. One commissioner replied, "Women's bones are too fragile for boxing. Their reproductive systems would be damaged. God didn't make women to fight." Jackie kept that letter in her wallet for years, not as a wound, but as fuel. 1969 brought hope. Billie Jean King defeated Bobby Riggs in the Battle of the Sexes tennis match. The world watched. But when Jackie wrote to Billie Jean asking for support for women boxers, the reply was polite but firm. "Tennis is different. Boxing is too violent for women." Jackie cried that night, not from rejection, but from the loneliness of pioneering. The turning point came in 1971. Jackie was working at a Harlem diner when 2 police officers came in. "Not for coffee, for her." "Jackie Sims?" one asked. "We have a warrant for your arrest. Illegal prize fighting." They discovered her underground fights. At the precinct, a lieutenant smirked as he processed her. "You really think you're Ollie? Go home and have babies like a normal woman." But in that cold interrogation room, something shifted in Jackie. She wasn't just fighting for herself anymore. She was fighting for every waitress who got groped by customers, every secretary whose ideas were stolen by male bosses, every little girl told to sit quietly while boys played sports. That night, in a jail cell, she made a decision. "I will not hide anymore. I will not ask permission to exist." She used her one phone call not to her mother, but to a lawyer she'd met at the library, Ruth Feldman, a fierce civil rights attorney who specialized in gender discrimination. Ruth saw something in Jackie's eyes that day, not just anger, but strategy. "They're not afraid of you fighting," Ruth explained. "They're afraid of what your victory would mean. If a black woman can fight professionally, what else might women demand?" Together, they crafted a plan. Instead of fighting underground, Jackie would fight in the courts. Instead of hiding her identity, she'd become Jackie Tonawanda, a name that honored her African heritage while sounding strong enough to shake institutions. They filed a federal lawsuit against the New York State Athletic Commission, arguing that the ban on women's boxing violated the Equal Protection Clause. The media response was brutal. The New York Times called it a circus act for misguided feminists. Sports Illustrated wrote, "Women lack the physical and psychological makeup for combat sports." Death threats arrived at Ruth's office. Someone firebombed the gym where Jackie trained. Through it all, Jackie worked her day job, trained at night, and studied law in between. She lost friends who feared association. Even her mother stopped speaking to her for 2 years. But Jackie found unexpected allies. An old Irish trainer named Mike O'Malley, who'd been banned from professional boxing for fixing fights, saw her training one night and became her mentor. "You fight like a southpaw thinking in a right-handed world," he told her. "That's your advantage." A young Puerto Rican woman named Maria Rodriguez became her sparring partner, their sessions in abandoned warehouses lit by bare bulbs. And slowly, quietly, other women started showing up, waitresses, teachers, factory workers, all wanting to learn how to protect themselves, how to feel strong. By 1973, Jackie had built something no one expected, a movement. Not with marches or speeches, but with sweat and determination in hidden gyms across the city. When the court finally ruled in her favor in February 1973, allowing her to fight legally under strict medical supervision, Jackie didn't celebrate. She knew the real battle was just beginning. The 6 weeks between the court ruling and the fight were Jackie's crucible. While newspapers mocked her, while politicians called for the decision to be overturned, Jackie trained like her life depended on it. Because it did. Mike O'Malley cleared out his garage in Queens and turned it into a makeshift gym. No mirrors. No fancy equipment. Just a heavy bag hanging from the ceiling, a speed bag on a wooden platform, and a ring drawn in chalk on the concrete floor. Jackie's training wasn't just physical, it was psychological warfare against a lifetime of being told she was weak. Every morning at 4:30 a.m., she'd run through the empty streets of Queens, visualizing the boos turning to cheers. "Don't run from the noise," Mike would shout. "Run through it. Make it your fuel." Her physical regimen was brutal by modern standards. No sports scientists. No nutritionists. Just instinct and survival. Breakfast was oatmeal with raisins stolen from the diner where she worked. Lunch was a peanut butter sandwich on the subway ride to her seamstress job. Dinner was whatever Maria could cook on her tiny stove, usually rice and beans with a fried egg. But the real training happened after midnight. When the city slept, Jackie and Maria would meet in the garage. Mike had Jackie shadowboxing in front of a bare light bulb, studying her form in the shadows it cast on the wall. "See how your left shoulder dips before you throw a hook?" he'd point. "That's where they'll catch you. Fight your own body before you fight your opponent." Jackie's greatest weapon wasn't her jab or her footwork, it was her mind. Ruth Feldman brought psychology books to the gym, teaching Jackie mental techniques used by Olympic athletes. Visualization, breathing exercises, affirmations whispered like prayers. "I belong here. My strength is valid. My body is my own." One rainy night in March, 3 days before the fight, Jackie broke down. The weight of history pressed on her shoulders. "What if I lose?" she whispered to Maria, tears mixing with sweat on her face. "What if I fail all those women who believe in me?" Maria didn't offer empty comfort. She put on her gloves and stepped into the chalk ring. Then fail fighting. Fail standing up. Fail so hard they have to remember your name. That night, Jackie trained until dawn. Not just her body, but her spirit. She wrote the names of women who'd inspired her on her hand wraps. Harriet Tubman. Sojourner Truth. Bessie Coleman. With each punch into the heavy bag, she whispered their stories to herself. This wasn't just about boxing anymore. It was about rewriting history with her fists. March 29, 1973. 7:45 p.m. Gleason's arena smells of sweat, beer, and fear. Police stand every 10 feet around the ring, their hands on batons. The crowd is 90% men, their faces hardened by skepticism. Women are few, mostly Jackie's supporters from the underground gyms, sitting together like an island of hope in a sea of doubt. Jackie enters first. No dramatic music. No spotlight. Just a simple walk from the locker room, her head high despite the boos. She wears red satin shorts and a white tank top. No robe, no entourage. Her hands are wrapped in clean white gauze, the names on her wraps hidden from view. In her corner, Mike O'Malley adjusts her gloves with trembling hands. "Remember your training," he whispers. "But more importantly, remember why you're here." Kathy Davis enters to slightly less hostility. She's taller than Jackie, with a boxer's build. They'd met once before in an underground fight, ending in a draw. There's respect between them tonight, a shared understanding that win or lose, they're making history together. The referee, a man named Frank Connolly who fought in the 1940s, looks uncomfortable. This is the first women's fight he's ever officiated, and he's been warned he could lose his license. "I don't agree with this," he mutters to Jackie as he checks her gloves. But I'll call it fair. Jackie just nods. Fair is all she's ever asked for. The bell rings. Round 1. The first minute is cautious. Both women testing distance, respecting each other's power. Then Kathy throws a stiff jab that snaps Jackie's head back. The crowd murmurs, some in surprise that a woman can hit that hard, others in approval. Jackie circles, remembering Mike's words, "Make her chase you. Let her waste energy." In the second minute, Jackie finds her rhythm. A lightning-fast 1-2 combination lands on Kathy's ribs. The crowd gasps. No one expected that speed. Kathy backs up, respect replacing skepticism in her eyes. Jackie presses forward, not with anger, but with precision. Each punch is a statement, "I belong here." Round 2 is brutal. Kathy, frustrated, comes out aggressive. She corners Jackie against the ropes and unleashes a barrage of hooks. Jackie covers up, but 2 punches slip through. One to the body that makes her gasp, one to the head that splits her lip. Blood trickles down her chin. The crowd roars, some chanting, "Stop the fight." Others screaming, "Let them fight." In the corner between rounds, Maria wipes Jackie's face while Mike gives instructions. She's strong but slow. Make her pay for every punch. Body shots, break her rhythm. Jackie spits blood into a bucket. Her eyes are clear. "I'm not done yet." Round 3 changes everything. Jackie comes out dancing, literally. She incorporates steps she learned from Harlem street dancers, moving side to side, forward and back, making Kathy chase shadows. A perfect uppercut snaps Kathy's head up. A left hook to the body doubles her over. The crowd falls silent, then erupts, not in boos, but in genuine appreciation. Even the police officers are watching intently now. Between rounds 3 and 4, something remarkable happens. A woman in the third row stands up. Then another. Then 10 more. They start clapping, not polite applause, but rhythmic, powerful clapping that fills the arena. "Jackie! Jackie!" The chant grows until even the men join in. For the first time tonight, Jackie smiles. Round 4 is Jackie's masterpiece. She fights like a woman possessed, not by anger, but by history. Every movement is fluid, every punch calculated. She uses the ring beautifully, making Kathy pay for chasing her. With 30 seconds left, Jackie lands a perfect right cross that sends Kathy stumbling back. The bell saves her from going down. Between rounds, Kathy's corner wants to stop it. She's taking too much punishment, her trainer argues. But Kathy shakes her head. "Let me finish. For all of us." The final round is a war of attrition. Both women are exhausted, bleeding, but neither will quit. With 10 seconds left, Jackie and Kathy meet in the center of the ring and trade punches like old friends sharing secrets. The bell rings. They embrace, sweaty and bloody, 2 pioneers who just broke the world open. The decision comes quickly, Kathy Davis by split decision. But no one cares about the scorecards. As the announcer reads the decision, the crowd gives Jackie a standing ovation that lasts 7 minutes. Police officers shake her hand. Reporters push to interview her. Even Frank Connolly, the skeptical referee, hugs her. "You showed them," he whispers. "You really showed them." But Jackie's victory isn't in the crowd's reaction. It's in the little girl sitting ringside with her father, a girl who watched every second with wide eyes. As Jackie walks back to her corner, the girl reaches out and touches her hand. "Can girls really box?" she asks. Jackie kneels down, despite her exhaustion, and looks the girl in the eyes. "Girls can do anything, baby. Anything at all." Jackie Tonawanda didn't become rich from that fight. She didn't get endorsement deals or movie offers. In fact, she only had 2 more professional bouts before injuries ended her career. But on that March night in 1973, she planted seeds that would grow into forests. Within 5 years, women's boxing was legal in every state. By 1996, it was an Olympic exhibition sport. Today, Claressa Shields can say, "I'm the greatest woman boxer of all time," and the world listens, because Jackie Tonawanda made them listen first. But Jackie's legacy isn't just in boxing rings. It's in every little girl who straps on shin guards for her first taekwondo class. It's in every woman who walks alone at night with confidence in her stride, knowing she can defend herself. It's in the UFC octagon where Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes, and Valentina Shevchenko dominate, not as novelties, but as athletes. Jackie died in 2013, largely forgotten by mainstream sports history. But in Harlem, they remember. At the community center where Mr. Henderson first taught her to fight, there's now a small plaque. In honor of Jackie Tonawanda, she taught us that the most revolutionary act a woman can commit is to believe in her own strength. And here's what they don't tell you about Jackie's final years. She spent them teaching self-defense to battered women in shelters. No cameras. No interviews. Just a woman who'd been broken and rebuilt, helping others find their own power. "I didn't fight to be famous," she told one student. "I fought so you wouldn't have to." So tonight, when you watch ESPN or scroll through highlights of female fighters making millions, remember the woman who fought for pennies in a garage with police waiting outside. Remember that every revolution starts with one person willing to step into the ring when the world says no. Jackie Tonawanda teaches us that true power isn't about winning every fight. It's about having the courage to enter the ring when everything in your world tells you to stay out. That real beauty isn't about perfection. It's about the scars earned fighting for your right to exist. That legacy isn't measured in trophies, but in the lives you change simply by refusing to be erased. She didn't just break barriers, she built bridges. She didn't just fight opponents, she fought time itself, racing against history to make space for those who would come after her. In a world that demanded she shrink herself, Jackie Tonawanda chose to expand, not just her body, but her spirit, her impact, her love. This is not the end of Jackie's story. It's the beginning of yours. What barrier will you break today? What ring will you enter despite the voices telling you to stay out? What impossible thing will you fight for, not just for yourself, but for every woman who will follow your footsteps? I am Jackie Tonawanda. I was told I didn't belong. I belonged anyway, and I changed the world. Now, what will you change? Power and beauty. Subscribe for more untold stories of women who defied the impossible.